folks, it's Kim from Eclectic Papery, and I'm here today with a Gelli Plate printing tutorial. I'm going to be using the new 6-inch round Gelli Plate, and then I also have some of our new textured acrylic sheets that we have in stock. These things are great. They're really flexible. They're plastic acrylic, so I'm going to use them to create texture on my Gelli printing, but after they're covered in paint, these are easy to cut as well, so you could use these on other projects once you're done with them. So I have linen. I don't know if you can see the texture on these. This is cobblestone. This is a great one, really textured. And then this one is called Tiny Rectangles. And then I have my brayer. This is a hard rubber brayer, some paper towels, and then just some acrylic paint. And I'm using some Dina Wakley, and then also just from some inexpensive acrylic paint I picked up at the store. And then I'm going to be working on my nonstick craft sheet. So to start with, we take our Gelli Plate out of the box. You do want to save the sleeves that they're sandwiched between, the plastic that they're sandwiched between. That will help protect your Gelli Plate. We're going to take both of those off. And I love the round. I have the 8-inch round circle, and I love it. So these smaller ones are great, and then the 4-inch you can even use as a stamp. And I'm going to place that right down onto my nonstick acrylic sheet, and that's where it's going to stay. That'll hold it steady. So I have a page here that I created a couple of years ago. Actually, it's been sitting in my studio, and this was just my extra sheet that I was using to clean off my brayer on. I'm actually going to use that as a start. So with your Gelli Plate, you're going to put on a small amount of paint. You do not need much. It spreads around very quickly. I might need more than that. We'll see. Yeah, I probably need a little bit more than that. So more than one little dot. I usually do too much. I was restrained this time. So we're going to cover the Gelli Plate. And I don't really care if there's marks there. And then I am going to use one of these texture pieces to press into the Gelli Plate, and that will leave an impression. Oh, that's going to be great. And then now I can go ahead and just lay my paper down and rub. And what I really like about the Gelli Plates, I have a plain piece of paper here too. Or what I like about the round, about the round Gelli Plates, is running them off the page. Oh, look at that. That great texture. So that's what the cobblestones print. And I think I'm going to do another one of those in the turquoise. I really like mixing those same colors in the background there. Let's print that cobblestone on there again. And you can pick up just little corners. You don't even have to put the entire circle on. So you can pick up a small print like that. And then the other half there, and then I'll use my extra piece of paper to pick up that extra paint. And this way, I'm really creating 2 Gelli prints at the same time. Oh, I really like that it picked up the holes from the paper. That's awesome. Great. Look at that. All right, so now I can come in with another color. And no, I'm not going to clean my brayer off too much. I'll take a little bit of the excess off on paper towels that I have over to the side, but I'm not real worried about it. You see I get a little bit better coverage on my yellow paint there. And I don't mind if they mix together because I'll just get a nice green. And then I'm going to pick up this linen, the linen sheet, which should give a really nice texture. And I probably could even use the sheets. Let's try it out after we pick up the print here. And I'm going to go ahead and overlap this, I think, here. Oh, that's nice. And then maybe a little bit here. See, I think I got a little bit too much paint. So I have a feeling that this print will pick up, this will pick up an even better print with that linen. Oh, I really like that. I love when the colors start to mix together. And then I was wondering if taking my acrylic sheet, if I could use that almost as a stamp on the top. Let's see what happens. This is happening for the first time on camera. I've never tried this before. Oh yeah, you can see this little tiny texture right there. Ooh, that's good. I love it. And then you even get this great circle design on the acrylic sheet, and once that dries, you could cut that out and put that on an art journal. And then I think my last color, I might do a little bit of overlapping. I think I'm going to use some of Dina Wakley's purple. I thought purple would look pretty good in there. And you can see how a little bit of paint, if you just keep rolling it, goes a long way. And then let's check out the tiny rectangles. And I could overlap this on the yellow, didn't come out. So I got a little bit too much paint. Oh, look at that design, it's so good. So I really could overlap the purple on the yellow. Oh yeah, that is so cool. That's one of the reasons too much paint is almost not always as good. Ooh, yes, I love it. I love it, I love it. Because you don't get the design as much. You almost get better prints when there's a little bit less paint. So sometimes when you do this, for me at least, when you clean the plate off, I really like this very worn look more. I love that. So that is a quick tutorial on showing you how to use the 6-inch round Gelli plate. And this is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, along with the new acrylic textured sheets. So what I think I'm going to do is play around a little bit more with this and come up with a project to show you a finished piece. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm back and finished playing with my Gelli plates and created a couple of projects with it. So I wanted to show you what I ended up doing with the prints that I made with the 6-inch Gelli plate and the acrylic texture sheets. Sorry, I had to remove the cat. Forgive the short pause, or we would have had little cat prints on the Gelli plate as well. So after I finished making the plate, sometimes I leave my paper whole and I make a journal page out of it. And I can show you some examples here of pages that I've done in the past. And you can see this is the 8-inch round portion of it here and at the bottom. And so I kept that print as it was and layered on top of it to make an art journal page. And then this was one of my extras that I cleaned off the paint on, so similar to what I had here. And again, I just kept that whole and added layers on top to turn that into an art journal page. But I wanted to do something different yesterday with the print that I made. And so I ended up taking the paper, and that was an 8.5 by 11 paper, and I cut it into 2-inch by 2-inch squares. So I was left with a whole bunch of these squares, and this is extra that I have left over. And then when I finished, I had a 1-inch strip of paper left, and I cut those into 1-inch by 1-inch squares. And here's what I ended up making with it. So a good friend of mine, Gotta Leave, who I don't know if you know her, but she has a beautiful blog, and I'll put her blog address up if you want to go see her work. She had just posted this little mini book that she made with inchies. So it was probably a little over 1.25-inch book, this little white book. And I thought, you know what? That's what I want to make. This is larger. This is a 3x3 book that I made myself, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then all I did was I put some white embossing paste, this is from Wendy Vecchi, through the Believe script stencil from the Crafters Workshop. And this one is my fave, and it was out of stock for a while, and it is back in stock now. You can tell it's well used. I love this stencil. It's new for 2015. So I put some embossing paste through that stencil just on my white background, and I wanted to keep this completely white because I really like the contrast of the deep colors here on my jelly print. And I love, 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 love how you get, when you cut out your jelly print, you get all these different designs and textures. And I ended up adding a few extra layers onto my jelly print, and I had a photo of that earlier in the video. And so all I did was, once my embossing paste was dry, was use some foam tape to add my squares on. And then this is from a Dina Wakley Primitive Icons set, which is a little bit older set. So I just stamped those in black archival ink, a whole bunch of designs from that stamp set, and added them onto the top of my colored squares. And this is so cute. So now that I made this little book, I'm obsessed, and I'm going to make little books forever and ever full of little things, and I already have another one in mind. So that's what I did for the 2x2 squares. And then for the 1x1 inch squares that I had left over, I created a card with that. Very simple, and again, I love the stark white with the bright, vivid colors really pop off the white. The embossing here in the background is from the new Tim Holtz Mesh Texture Fade, and these we actually do have in stock. And so I just ran a piece of cardstock through my Vagabond with the embossing folder and just backed these little 1 inch by 1 inch squares on pieces of black cardstock. So that pretty much used up my one sheet of jelly prints. I have some of these 2 inch squares left that I have to do something else with. I think they're going to go on a canvas. That's what I'm leaning towards. So that's what I made with my jelly prints. And now I want to show you how you can make this little book. Now mine is cut down. So I created it using a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I will say you probably need a thinner cardstock. This cardstock is very thick, and by the time I folded everything together, it's very thick. It doesn't matter because I don't mind that it stays open. I like the look of that. But if I was going to make something where I'd want it to close tight, you'd need to use a thinner paper. This was very thick paper. So this is just a piece of typewriter paper that I'm going to use to demonstrate how to make this book. And I found this online on a YouTube video. I'll try to find the woman's name who demonstrated it, but super quick and easy, very helpful. 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, we're going to fold it in half 3 times. So that's 1, and you will need a bone folder. That's 2, and this will be 3. And this is where you really need the thinner cardstock, because by the time you do this third fold, it's tight, even was tight with printer paper. So I'm going to use my bone folder to come in here and really get those creases put into the paper. Okay, so that's it. You've got your 3 folds. We're going to unfold it 1 time and then a 2nd time. And then you want the open piece of the paper at the top, and we're going to cut from the bottom here on the crease where it's folded up to the first or second fold line. If that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to cut up just like that. So now here's your open piece of paper, and the bottom that's cut. Now we're going to open the paper and fold it long ways vertically. Does that make sense? So now I folded it this way. And now when you put it together like this, look what happens. It instantly makes pages. Ta-da! And you have a book. Is that not the coolest thing ever? And then if you want to come back with your bone folder, you can. And now you have a little 4-page book. Isn't that so cute? I love that. Now I took some matte medium and glued my pages together so they weren't like this. And then all I did to make the smaller book, you can see, I just cut 2 inches off the bottom, and I had my 3 by 3 inch book. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video on using the 6-inch round jelly plate, along with some beautiful Dina Wakley acrylic paints and the acrylic textured sheets, which just give a great quick design to all of your jelly prints. Thanks so much, and enjoy your day.